lot of things to like tonight. Very, very pleased with 22 assists. I think that's something that this team is capable of on a lot of nights. We had probably another 8 to 10, I can't wait to watch the film, what I call hockey assist, where we just made the extra. This team is unselfish, and 69%. The second half, and we played at a little slower pace, just simply because of the score, but I felt very good about that. It's great to see Georgie, 10 rebounds. We need that from him, there's no doubt. And I think the three-headed monster, those three guards, all had their moments and did some positive things. And I liked our defense the first half and parts of the second half. I thought the turning point was we threw our little three-quarter court 1-2-2, and got them sped up a little bit, got them out of sync, shortened the shot clock for them, and then we just, we were able to convert. And so I thought that was something we've been spending a lot of time on, and it's nice to be able to play some guys. Allen tweaked his knee Sunday in practice, I guess, so he didn't practice this week. We held him out. He'll be fine. He'll be back in practice on Sunday. Sama violated a team rule, and so we didn't play him tonight. So those guys will both be back, and overall I'm very pleased, and I think we showed some growth, especially at the offensive end, and we'll continue to work as we got a great Georgetown team coming in on Tuesday.
Questions?
Brett, his first game puts out and fills the box score like that. What stood out to you about how he did in his debut?
His rebounding, because we've spent a lot of time in the last few days talking about rebounding basketball, and he's a guy that when we play those three guards together, he's a guy that has to give us some rebounding, and it's a little unusual for him. It's something new, especially on the offensive end, to go rebound the basketball, and I think that shows how cerebral he is, how willing a participant he is to winning, and as he did that, and then in the open court, I was a ton. I mean, he's got a variety of moves to go with his speed. He's got size. He hits floaters. He hit threes tonight. As well as he played offensively, I thought he set the tone early defensively on KJ Riley. And pretty good first night.
Well, just from the sound of what you said, his night might not be over. He seems he got some free throws to shoot, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. He never misses free throws. And he and Trent, and I think that's something that he just looked like he was rushing him. He didn't look really comfortable up there. And I think he had he's in all of our practices, I think he's shooting over 90% of the line. And we've got to get he and Trent there. 7 of 14 was the real big glaring negative tonight, and we got to clean that up.
Craig in the back.
How pleased were you with the first half, the way they came out and kind of put the game to rest there at halftime?
Yeah, I was really pleased. I think that it was sustainable effort, and that's something that we're looking for every possession. And we know teams, when we play them, they're going to have some package to handle our pressure. And so they're always going to be somewhat effective early in the game. It's just a matter of us sustaining that for the next 12 minutes or the next 10 minutes, however long that is, and we'll eventually wear on it. And, I thought tonight was a great example of turning defense into offense and easy points. And then Aaron got going, and AJ was terrific, and they were playing zone, and AJ's a guy that once he hits one can make 4, 5, 6 in a row pretty quick.
In the back. Stay in the back.
Coach, what did you say to Georgie after he picked up that technical foul?
Don't say that anymore. And I don't know what he said, but he obviously said something, and so I'll find out. I'll talk to the official to find out what was said, but, you know, that's, you know, it's something we obviously can't do.
Coach, when you guys kind of 30-point lead at halftime, does that change the way you evaluate the second half and kind of what happens?
No, because we did this the other night against Illinois Wesleyan, and I don't know what our lead was at half, 20, whatever it was, and then we just didn't play. And it was about going out and playing the full 40. And it gave us an opportunity to really hone in. We tried to hone in on our spread, on our half-court offense a little bit, and have some patience and get great shots. We did that. We shot 69%. And we took our opportunities when they were there, and Io was terrific doing that, and Dre was terrific doing that. And that led to a pretty efficient second half.
Tevye and Jones got heavy minutes in the first half, especially kind of playing the top of that three-quarter court pressure. Do you kind of envision him as your tip of the spear in that situation, or?
Pretty long, isn't he? Yeah, he's got great length. He's a guy that can really be bothersome. And then, you know, I'm really happy for him because Tev spends a lot of time, extra time, watching film. He's in the gym as much as anybody, and it was good to see him get going offensively a little bit. I think we saw some glimpses of what he's capable of, shooting the basketball off the dribble. You know, he's a very good ball handler for his size, so I'm happy. A good first night for Tev.
Brad?
Seem to do a much better job of not leaving the shooters open and not letting them get penetration down the middle tonight. Was that obviously a point of emphasis after the Wesleyan game?
A huge one, and we still gave it up about 5 times in the last 6 or 7 minutes, and again, it's different lineups, but yeah, it's something we've got to clean up, and again, ball pressure is a key for us. We have to be elite with our ball pressure, and we have guys who can do that, and when we get lax with that, that's what happens, and we got to be better in our assignments.
Back here.
Coach, Kipper Nichols is 5% of the field tonight and 13 points, but it seemed like he had, you know, kind of a quiet night in the midst of everybody else scoring. How would you evaluate his play today?
Well, I think the one thing people need to understand about Kip, his last game was 1 for 10, and as soon as he got out of this arena, which was actually fairly quick, he went straight to oven and was in the gym shooting, and you know, that's not. I'm not sure that was going to happen a year ago, and so, you know, his performance was really solid. I got a lot of confidence in Kip. We need more than 1 rebound at half from him, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with Kip's play tonight.
With Otto's length and size, what kind of flexibility does he give you defensively?
Well, he can guard multiple positions. You know, he's got great foot speed, and the thing that's very deceiving with Io is his hand speed. He's got tremendous quickness, and it gets him in trouble a little bit. You know, I think, you know, everybody's still learning him, including us, officials, and everybody else. And you know, he's got, you know, he's able to poke things away and do some things because of that quickness. And yet he can guard small forwards, he can guard, you know, off guards, and he's getting better every day away from the ball, which is, when he's not on it, you know, he's got to continue to grow there.
Still on the defensive end, there was a sequence in the first half, really fast paced. Seems like your guys all maintained their coverage, they were in their spots. I have to think that you're probably pretty happy with how they executed.
Yeah, there was about a 6 or 7 minute stretch there where I was pretty happy. Just simply because we got stuck in some rotations a couple times, but man, we cleaned it up with a charge, or we cleaned it up with diving on the floor for a loose ball, or we got them to throw it out of bounds, or we forced to travel. That's what happens. That's what our pressure does, and it creates creates a 10-0 run or a 12-2 run or whatever it is, and you have 2 or 3 of those, and you put yourself in a pretty good position.
Janet?
What One of the first things Io said when he was asked about his emotions going into the game today, he talked about the pride in wearing an Illinois jersey and playing for his home team. When you have a player who has that, along with being really gifted, talented player, who delivers, I know you're gonna say he has to keep it up, but what can that mean for your program to kind of have that package?
Well, he set a tone in coming here, and I think it means, I don't wanna discount what it means to other players to play here, but there's a little more emphasis on wearing that jersey. And, the one thing that Io has is extreme pride, and not just in himself and his family and his city and his state, but this university. And that becomes very evident when you talk to him. And he chose to come to this university because he wanted to play here. And the systems lined up and happened to fit, and so it means a great deal to him, and maybe more than we even know. But I know he's a wonderful young man and a kid with a lot of pride, and it does mean a lot to us. And the character piece of what we go after, Shannon, in recruiting is that we look for guys who want to play in our system at our university, and Iowa exemplifies that.
You mentioned Tuesday, the drill that maybe still would have been going on now if you hadn't stopped it. What did you think about the team's execution offensively tonight?
Well, I think they tried to just maybe get away a little bit from what they do in terms of their half court. They set up in their scrimmage. They set a lot of stagger screens. They set some quick flip things with dribble handoffs. They weren't able to do those things. So they basically just spread it and drove us. And it was 5 out. They tried to back cut us early. I thought we did a great job of getting to the ball. So when we get teams to not run what they practice, it's advantage us. And I thought we did a good job that time.
Aaron, 7 rebounds again, but Io with 6 and Tevin with 4. How do you maybe make sure that's happening every night?
Yeah, we gotta keep emphasizing that in practice. I know what I'm getting from Aaron. AJ's really, really consistent with what he does on the glass. DeMonte's for most nights very consistent. It's those young guys, we gotta keep them going. We're asking them to do things that, on the glass that maybe they haven't had to do as a top priority, and we gotta keep working on that.
Coach, how nice is it to have a guy like Andres Feliz to come off the bench and kind of start for this team?
Well, he's so mature. Okay, that doesn't bother him whether he starts or not. And you're talking about a kid who's National JUCO Player of the Year and won a national championship, and most guys would flip out about that. And he knows he's gonna play the same amount of minutes as he does if he starts. And I've always looked at maybe the bench and the guys that come off the bench more than I look at who starts, because I want productivity in the way we play. And now you're talking about a guy who's, in a scrimmage and exhibition, and tonight's averaging close to 20 a game, or right at it. That's pretty good. And the thing is, his field goal percentage is probably close to 80% in those 3. And then he's a defensive guy. He had a couple turnovers tonight that I thought, first time he's made some poor decisions, but gosh, I can't say enough positives about him, and his maturity.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.